Hello?
It seems you can't go anywhere without one. The sound of competing ringtones fill the air. Quick fingers type as fast as they can. And our constant need to stay in touch is everywhere.
Here we take it for granted, but I mean, we shouldn't be, right?
These cell phones have become an extension of ourselves. If these aren't nearby, most of us don't know what to do without them. With new phones coming out every day, the latest apps, new forms of communication, there's so much to choose from. But while we're always on the hunt for the latest in cell phone technology, there are those in some parts of the world that would be happy with our hand-me-downs.
What we're doing is we're taking people's old cell phones and we're empowering people that couldn't normally afford a cell phone worldwide.
Kevin Davis is a social work student at Camosun College. A year ago, in one of his sociology classes, the idea of providing old cell phones to villages in Africa was pitched. That sparked a group called Africa Calling. 1 year later, this group, with new members and old, is still at it.
The first person to donate cell phones gave us 5 phones, so that was within 3 weeks of the project starting.
Today, they have over 700 phones. The phones go to Africa through some connections that his professor has.
I pitched this idea to the class that my travels in some African countries, when people are asking me for things, they don't ask me for food, they don't ask me for money, they don't ask me for clothing. They ask me for cell phones.
And that took him by surprise. He says he would have never thought there was a need in communities that barely have enough to get by.
There are some stories that just will break your heart. That one woman that I was talking to in a rural part of Ghana and said he spent a whole night in the bush because she fell sick immediately and he couldn't walk from the farm to the village.
No one knew where she was until the next day. He says now with cell phones in rural areas, it's easier for people to communicate.
In this day and age, almost everybody does have extra cell phones sitting around.
Only phones with SIM cards head to Africa. It costs less than $5 to put in a new one and get the phone activated. The phones without SIM cards are distributed to local organizations like Kool-Aid or Peers. Phones that can't be distributed are recycled. And the beauty of this project is that fewer cell phones are ending up in landfills.
And any phones that don't work, they're going to go to recycling, proper recycling, so that they'll be shredded and the materials will be used again.
One thing Davis points out is that there is no money exchanging hands. Everything is done through volunteers and donations. And that's why he's looking to cell phone companies to help fund the project or help clear data from the phones. So if you got a few lying around the house, you can drop them off at various locations around town. In Victoria, I'm Sucheta Singh for The Daily.